next thing I want to do is, okay, before playing around with the repo, let me just walk you through the UI, okay, so that you will get a better feel about the UI. Then we will go into the like playing around with the repo. We will create a branches, merge through it and all those things. But prior to that, let me just walk you through the UI. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is called, let's talk about the user related things. Then we can set it up. So you can see your profile, okay, where you can see a complete overview, like you can see your achievements, okay, and then you can see organization. Organization is another concept. We'll talk about that. And then you can see all your repositories here. In any projects you are being part of it, you can just see that here. And packages, if you have any build package available, you can see it here. And your ratings, okay, you can see it here. Next is your repository, your code space, your organization. I'll come back to the organization later, and you can see your stars and guess this is what you are seeing it here. And next is settings. So GitHub actually provides a token-based authentication and application integration. All those things you can do it in the Git. Anyway, we will see that in detail in our Jenkins scenario. Okay, how to create that. But let me just give you an overview. So you can provide your name, okay, public email address, okay. You can write about a small bio and all those things. You can just see it here. And in the account settings, you can see about is there any if you want to delete this account or if you want to change the ownership, all those things you can do it. Okay. And next is your appearance. If you want to change a dark theme, all those things you can see it here. And next is like if you want to set your notification whenever things happen, I want to notify via the email. It is your general GitHub settings. You can just change that. And next is billing and planning. You can set up your bill. Okay. So this is my free account, unlimited private and public and private repos, unlimited collaborators, all those things you can just see it here. Okay. And you can create a Git action. So Git action is a continuous integration concept by the Git. So it can automatically do that. Okay. Git package and all those things you can see it here. Okay. And next is your email. You can configure email thing. And next is your password and authentication. You can change your password here. And next is your key-based authentication. So normally when I have the continuous integration systems communicate to my master, I will have the key-based authentication. So there I can put the public key in the account level or in the repository level also I can put it. We will talk about that when we do it in the Jenkins integration. We will see that how to import and export keys and things. You'll see it here. And then you can see the list of repositories is what we have seen it. And next is you can integrate your Git with your applications. Okay, you can authorize existing applications. Okay, or you can even have the authentication enabled, like OAuth based things. You can do it with this kind of Git. Okay, you would see the Git credentials manager because it is going to authenticate use that. Okay. And like install the Git applications, you can do it. Okay. Or you can authorize existing app, all those things you can do it. And then if you want to schedule a reminders, you can just do it. And if you want to see the logs or if you want to see the developer settings, you can just see it in the personal access token. So you can generate personal access token, and using that you can integrate the Git with the other applications like Jenkins or Bamboo or your Azure DevOps. Those kind of things you can use it here. We'll talk about that later. Okay. So you can, this is using this token, you will be able to communicate to the Git UI. Okay. This is on the API part. This is your account settings. And let me go to the repository. In the repository level, we will have some settings. Just go over show there. Yeah. So in the repository, all the codes you can see it here, and issues is the area where others can come and raise issues on your repository and you can answer that. Okay. And you can do it. So this is the issues area. And next is called as the pull request. Okay, this is a very good feature. So we will see a detailed example today, if possible today or tomorrow. So basically imagine there are two developers are there. Okay, they are done with the changes and they want to notify the admin that my changes are done and I want you to approve and merge this branch with the other branch. You can create a pull request and the admin can approve the pull request and the code will be automatically merged it. So max by let's see, tomorrow we can see this example. Okay. And then next is called your actions. So these are all the GitHub actions. So okay, you can create a workflow. Like I want the application to be deployed onto Amazon ECS. So this is the continuous integration offering from Git. So you can use that. So this is the Git actions. And next is your project. So you can create a project and do this. Okay. And next is if you for this particular repo, you want to create your wiki page, you can create it. And next is the security. Like what is the if you want to set up a security policy, you can do it. And if you want to see a detailed information about the how many users are logging in, how many commits are happening, how many branches are coming in, all those things you can see it here. Okay, how many commits happened. Okay, and what is the traffic. So today only we have created it. So this many traffic and all those things, you can just see it here. And next is the settings. Okay. So there are multiple things I want to show you here. Okay. So let's start. Okay. So we were talking about the particular repository, and in that repository, we are talking about this setting. So in the settings, okay, I can add collaborators, right? So I can invite anyone else, add a people with their email ID. So so I can invite the collaborator and I can provide them the proper access. Meantime, I have sent a invite for my another account. Okay. So let me click on this. So I'm just logging into the other account. So I'm just accepting the invite. Yeah. Fine. So if I refresh this page, I can see this contributor access. Okay. And I can remove the access and I can provide all those things. I can just see it here. Okay. I can bring in collaborators. And next is if I want to maintain the branches, what should be my default branch? Default is main. If you want to add it, okay, and I can add a rule to protect a particular branch, saying that what should be that protection I want for a particular branch. You can manage the branch level access control here. Okay, so I can put a role that okay, no one should do anything on the main branch. I can put a protection. All those things I can do it here. And next is on the tags. I can create a tag. We will talk about that. Okay. And then in the Git actions, I can just create a runner and do it. And next concept is called webhook. So we are going to see that in detail in Jenkins. That means whenever I commit something on my repository, I want my continuous integration job to be triggered automatically. That we will be configuring it on the webhook concept. So in the Jenkins training, we will talk in detail about it. We will create a webhook, and from there we can like when a commit happened on a particular branch, automatically my Jenkins job will be get triggered. So those kind of things we can do it in the webhook. And next is the environment. You can create multiple environment. For this environment, this is the code. For this environment, like for dev, I can have a separate code. For prod, I can have a separate code. All those things I can configure it here. Okay. And next is called the deploy keys. Okay. In the user profile, I have shown you a area where you can configure the SSH public key to communicate, right? Like the same way on the repository level also I can do it. So in the user level, if you do it, all the repositories under that particular user, he will be able to pull and push things. But if I do it on the repository level, that particular key will have access only to that particular repository. So those kind of configuration we will do it. So we will see that example. And then next is if you want to create a Git secret, like if you want to store any passwords in an encrypted format, you can store it in the secret. And next is the apps. You can integrate a GitHub app. OK, and then you can map it. And email notification, you can set up an email notification whenever there is a commit happened. So those kind of things you can set up the notification. So these are all the repository level settings. There you can add and manage your collaborators here. Okay. And the branches level, if you want to put access control, you can put it here. Webhooks can be used to trigger a third party system whenever there is a commit happened on that. You will see a working example here. And then deploy keys on the repository level. If you want to add a public key, you can use this area. Okay, so these are all the settings, and adding to that, there is one more options I want to show you. Like one is called as the fork. Okay, imagine there is a public repository available and you want to get a copy of that repository onto your GitHub account. You can use the fork option. A copy of that repository will be created onto it and you will be able to use it. We will use this option when we are creating our Jenkins repository. Okay, so those are all the important things. Okay, one thing you one particular thing you need to understand is like the PR. We are going to see that. So that is a very, very critical feature. And nowadays, most of the organizations are going in the PR mechanism. So a developer will raise a PR and the tech lead will come and approve the PR. We will see that how to raise a PR.